Minnesota Black Robe Regiment, it will be on my mark. Minnesota Black Robe Regiment, you are over the target. You are authorized to fire at will.
Well, hey, howdy. Hello there. Welcome. How be you? It is Sunday, May 24th, and I'm coming to you live to do a commentary on the video about Adam Schwarze that I released earlier this week, or last week, Wednesday, midweek. And it's important, but I do want to get a couple of things out of the way first and foremost. I want to remind everyone that this is Ryan Schultz. He is the permanent show producer recognition on my channel because of the generosity that he was able to empower his friends and his loved ones with upon his death. So it has deeply impacted me. His story has deeply impacted me, and the fight that his mother in particular has gone through has deeply impacted me. So we are going to forever honor the loss of his life by recognizing him as permanent show producer. So thank you for bearing with me on that one. And I want to also then thank all of my channel members for all the things that they do. If you are a first-time viewer and you don't know what I do, who I am, I'm TC. This is MBRR Media. We do political accountability. We do law enforcement accountability. We do government accountability. You name it, that's what we do. That's what I do here. My volunteer full-time researcher, Natalie, who is currently on vacation in undisclosed locations, makes much of what I do possible, and she is the highlight in the sense of a positive way. She is the highlight of the video we're about to watch and break down. And she has done the legwork on a massive amount of cases stories that I cover. And she has made it easier for me to produce content because she knows what my expectations are of the people that I cover and the people that I talk to. And the video that we're going to be watching now is not a fun video for me. When I first met Adam Schwarze last year in person at the Defend the Guard rally, it was not, should we say, easy for me to trust him, but I came to like Adam. Our stories are similar. We both, at the time, it appeared that we had both been persecuted for stupid reasons during COVID. Both of us forced out of careers that we loved because of COVID, apparently, because of progressive leftist ideology. And so we had that brotherhood in common. We had the brotherhood of the military in common. Me much longer, way before Adam was ever in the military. I served well before he did, in a time that was far different than the time that he served. And so I will always give respect to Adam for the fact that he served, even if I disagreed with the wars that he was serving in. I will always respect Adam for having served, at least putting his money where his mouth is. I don't want to be doing this video. I'm gonna make that very clear to you right now. This is not something that I'm looking forward to or cherishing. This is not something I want to do. But it's something that has to be done. And it has to be done because Adam is not fit to be the U.S. Senator for Minnesota at the federal Senate. He's at the countrywide Senate. He is not fit for that position. And you're going to understand why here as we watch this. Keep in mind, the voice you're about to hear is my researcher, Natalie. And she didn't actually call Adam. She requested Adam answer some questions via his social media Facebook page and on X. I call it Twix. She requested that Adam answer some questions about some indiscrepancies that she found. She wasn't looking to pin him down. She was just asking questions. And an individual who is not really affiliated with the Schwarze campaign at all, but feels it's his duty to rush in and defend Adam at every turn, interjected himself and arranged a phone call between Adam Schwarze and Natalie. And Natalie agreed to the call. And upon my advice, I said, you need to record that so that you can't be attacked. Or if you ask a question and he loses his temper or whatever, we need to be able to, defend you. So record the call, which is legal in Minnesota. Minnesota is a one party or single party consent state. So when she got done, she immediately messaged me and she says, TC, you won't believe what happened. So she sends me the audio. She asked me to listen to it to see what my reaction is, to not validate her, but to verify if what she perceived was reality. And I was blown away.
This is just the way I am. I do my due diligence on any candidate.
No, I like that.
Okay. So
right here, it starts off great. No, I like that. Right. So she's saying she does her due diligence. It all goes downhill from there. And it is not Natalie. I'm going to tell you that right now. I've had a lot of people attack Natalie saying that she's crazy. She's unhinged. She clearly was losing her mind. This was a setup. There's no way for anybody to perceive this as Natalie losing her mind or this being a setup. This was not a setup. She had legitimate questions. Now watch how Adam unravels.
Yes, the main question, Adam, is why did I see that you started that organization in so many places, but then you said you didn't?
Well, I never started any organization.
Now the organization is we go back here just 10 seconds, is Defending Freedom and Democracy. And there is plenty of documentation that shows that Adam was linked to Defending Freedom and Democracy. But the most damning documentation are his own words, which you're about to hear.
You started that organization in so many places, but then you said you didn't.
Well, I never started any organization.
Yeah, thanks. So again, we just started at the nonprofit Defending Freedom and Democracy. There is a website, started 1 March. That's what I'm doing right now, is trying to go on programs like yours and just spread the message.
What were his words here? His words.
So many places, but then you said you didn't.
Well, I never started any organization.
I never started any organization. This is from his interview with Alpha News, Liz Collin, a couple of years ago.
Yeah, thanks. So again, we just started at the nonprofit defending freedom and democracy.
We just started it. Adam is saying right here, we just started the organization defending freedom and democracy. So which is it, Adam? You can't have it both ways. Were you lying to Natalie that you were never part of the organization and that it wasn't anything you were involved in? Or Adam, Navy SEAL, honor and integrity, did you start the organization? What is it? Which one is it? Former Navy SEAL Adam Schwarze. Disgraced Navy SEAL Adam Schwarze. Which one was it? Did you lie to Liz or are you lying to Natalie? And if you're lying, if you lied to Liz and said you started it, but you didn't, why would you lie and say you started it? But if you did start it and now you're lying to Natalie, why are you lying about being involved with defending freedom and democracy? I just want to know, why are you lying, Adam? Why would you lie to Liz or lie to Natalie? Why are you lying about it? You can't say it's not a lie because you doubled down and said you didn't have anything to do with it.
See, there is a website started 1 March. That's what I'm doing right now, is trying to go on programs like yours and just spread the message of the problem set is a failure of leadership in government, and the solution is getting on board to help push back against the dark money, the special interest groups. Like, this is a nonprofit that's really going to help common sense leaders get into government.
I was looking to invest my efforts prior to running for U.S. Senate, but following my military service career. So I was looking at a bunch of different organizations. I think that was one of the ones I was looking at investing my efforts with, but I ended up going with conservatives.
So now he's there again. He said, I am starting this. He didn't say to Liz Collin, he didn't say I'm going with another organization. He said, I started this organization. So why would he lie to Liz? So why is he lying to Liz? Was he or was he not involved with defending democracy and freedom? Which, by the way, is a great cause. Yes, defend democracy and democracy. I don't like democracy. America is not a democracy. We are a federal republic. We're a constitutional republic. But Adam, like everybody else, is low enough info that he thinks democracy is a good thing. And yes, that's what I said. Adam is low info. You can have all the education in the world, and you'll hear about that from Adam in his own words in this call. You can have all the education in the world. You can have doctorates, you can have master's degrees and still be stupid, still be ill-advised, be ill-informed.
For a stronger America.
Okay.
So I had no ties, didn't do any filing, took no action at all, no connections with whatever that other organization you posted on the Facebook.
Yeah.
So I have no ties to that whatsoever.
Okay. Does it bother you that so many articles say you did?
Well, I don't know what article, like so many articles.
Well, I posted a couple of them on Facebook, but even Alpha News, because that's where I saw it, is even Alpha News said.
Yeah, I guess I'm not disappointed. I mean, it has no bearing on reality.
Well, it kind of does, Adam, because if it's represented that you did and you didn't.
Now, I want everybody to listen to what Natalie's saying here. And I want you to hear very clearly his response to this. Okay? His response to this says everything you need to know about him as a human being and all his claims, and we're going to demonstrate that he's going to be transparent, he's going to be available, we're going to be willing to hear any questions, pushback, yada yada yada. In an interview, sit-down interview that I did with him last year after the Defend the Guard rally, Adam made the statements that he is going to be about accountability and he will listen when people have hard questions. Listen to his response to Natalie right here.
Don't you want things to be honest out there?
But I will also say, though, that no matter what I do, I will always be exceptionally transparent and have the conversations with you, the people that I work for, the constituents. So if I ever do something and you're like, hey, man, like you took this money or you cast this vote, I will never shy away from explaining the why I did something. I mean,
He's not even in office yet. He's not even gotten the endorsement from the Republican convention this coming week. And he already, I just want, he's about to betray everything that he just said here. I want you to listen to his words again.
Didn't either. I mean, don't you want things to be honest out there?
but I will also say, though, that no matter what I do, I will always be exceptionally transparent and have the conversations with you, the people that I work for, the constituents. So if I ever do something and you're like, hey, man, like you took this money or you cast this vote, I will never shy away from explaining the why I did something. I mean, I'm trying to work for you. That's one of the pillars I'm running on, actually, is transparency in government. And that starts with me.
One of the pillars I'm running on is transparency in government, and that starts with me, he says. Adam's own words. Listen to this.
Are you trying to, like, this is like a trick game or something? I feel like I'm entering this conversation in good faith and trying to inform.
Is this a trick? Is this a trick game? He's accusing Natalie of setting a trap. And you can hear the tone of his voice. We're gonna pull back a little bit here. We're gonna pull back. We're gonna go all the way back here to the beginning of the phone call. And I want you to listen to his tone.
This is just the way I am. I do my due diligence on any candidate.
No, I like that.
Yeah, okay. So
no, I like that. Okay. So which is it, Adam? Which one is it?
I'm running on, actually, is transparency in government. And that starts with me.
Are you trying to, like, this is like a trick game or something? I feel like
you can hear it in his voice. You can hear he's either nervous, scared, or angry, or all three. Because angry, nervous, and scared people get angry. That's a common response to scared and nervous, is to get angry. And he's getting angry. And this question is not all about transparency and being accountable. And that's starting with him. This is him denying factually words that he has said in the past, that he was involved with an organization that he now claims he was never involved with. So we've caught Adam in a lie. We've caught him in a lie. He either lied to Liz Collin a couple of years ago about being part of defending the democracy and freedom, or he is lying now. But why is he lying? And does Adam have a track record of lying about things? He does.
Like, I'm entering this conversation in good faith and trying to inform you on what's going on. You're giving me a lot of pushback.
I will never shy away from explaining the why I did something. I mean, I'm trying to work for you. That's one of the.
I'm never going to shy away from explaining something. He's shying away from it in this phone call with Natalie almost a year later. After this interview I did with him, he's shying away. I see we got a couple people watching. Sarah, thank you for being here. Chicana for Liberty. Please share this out. Send this to people.
The pillars I'm running on, actually,
hit that like,
transparency in government. And that starts with me.
Adam, I'm entering this conversation just as I did when I posted on your thing and even put the articles, and then you don't reply back, and you now make me have this conversation privately versus.
And that's 100% what she just said. You're making me have this conversation privately. That's 100% true. having a private conversation on the phone outside of the earshot metaphorically of people in social media is absolutely a way to control and dominate the conversation. I had somebody that trying to pick a fight with Natalie and I about this audio and saying that Natalie didn't even let him talk. If you go through and do a breakdown, point by point by point, second by second breakdown, Adam by far dominates this conversation verbally, not intellectually, not psychologically, but verbally. He dominates this conversation. He has all the words to say. Natalie did not come at no point, even up until this point where Adam's starting to get angry. Natalie never loses her temper. She never comes unhinged. It is Adam who is escalating, and you can hear it. He continues to escalate. And he's denying his own words over and over and over again. Not only did he either lie to Liz Collin or he's lying to Natalie, but he's already backtracked his words to me in an interview that he did with me, that he's going to be all about accountability and transparency because that starts with him. Right now, he's being neither accountable or transparent, and he's not explaining a goddamn thing. You want this guy as your senator? You think he's any better than Amy Klobuchar?
Publicly. And
Well,
I'm not going to go on the deep.
I would answer
I'm
this
not going to
question
go
in
on
the town hall.
Well, I'm not going to go on the defense from asking questions that are publicly out there stating you did, and including yourself in some of the blogs that I found on you. Adam,
Yeah,
right now, you of all people know we are in a world of misinformation.
Yep, and that's why I'm having this call to give you ground truth.
Yep.
Yeah.
You hear his voice? Listen to his voice here.
Adam,
Yeah,
right now, you of all people know we are in a world of misinformation.
Yep, and that's why I'm having this call to give you ground truth.
Yep.
You're hearing it right from me directly. So
you hear that waver in his voice? That's anger. That's anger. He wants to be in control of this conversation, and Natalie is not letting him slip away. And that's upsetting him. Do I sound like I'm analyzing this? Yeah, I'm analyzing this because you want to know what? For almost 13 years, I had to analyze people and gauge what their response was going to be physically based on the tone of their voice. Adam's getting angry here. I guarantee you would, had this been on video, you would see the anger set in his face. There would be a rise in color in his cheeks. His nostrils would be flaring a little bit as his body's having a response to that physical response to the anger rise in him, that slight surge of adrenaline because he's being questioned and he doesn't like that he's being questioned. And you can hear that wavering is coming from that anger. I guarantee you, if we took this audio to Body Language Ghost, who also will analyze tone of voice and not just body posture, Body Language Ghost would be saying the same thing. Natalie remains smooth, calm, and set throughout. Adam is the one whose voice is escalating. Adam is the one whose tremor is escalating.
I am giving you direct ground truth.
So you've never seen anything out there that said you started it?
I saw your Facebook post. That's how.
B as in B, S as in S, Adam. You know your interview with Liz on Alpha News. You know for a freaking fact that you said you started or were part of starting defending democracy and freedom. Why are you denying it now? You didn't just learn about it from her Facebook post. So either you're lying or you are the dumbest person in the history of the world, or maybe you are just the dumbest person in the history of the world and you are also lying. Could be both.
I wanted to call you to.
Just started at the nonprofit Defending Freedom and Democracy. There is a website, started 1 March. We just started at the nonprofit Defending Freedom and Democracy. There is a website. So 1 March, we just started at the nonprofit defending freedom and democracy. There is a website. So again, we just started it right now. The nonprofit defending freedom and democracy. There is a website started 1 March.
To alleviate any sort of misconfusion, I gave you the links to my body of work that I actually took.
And here's another set of examples of how you know that he's getting upset. It's the verbiage he's using. He's using incorrect terms because his brain is operating in a anger or fear response right now, and he says things like, "And I wanted to alleviate any misconfusion." No, he like the verbal vomit, just saying whatever comes to mind to try and get out and get away. It's the same as when you see a deer caught in the headlights of your car, and instead of running, it freezes. It's the exact same psychological response. Adam is a deer caught in the headlights, and all Natalie's doing is asking questions, and he's like fight or flight mode. And right now he's in flight mode, but he's actually freezing in his flight mode because his brain will not communicate what he needs to be saying because he doesn't have time to think about it, to smooth out the lie, to placate the concern that Natalie has. So he says things inappropriate, not in a wrong way, but inappropriate phrasing. Key sign. It's absolutely 100% a key sign. If prosecuting attorney got Adam on the stand right now and Adam started to talk like that, I guarantee you the prosecuting attorney would stop him and say, "You wanted to clear up what? Misconfusion? What did you mean by misconfusion?" And that would actually give Adam a breather, but the prosecutor would hear that and go, "Oh, we've got this guy on the ropes." That's exactly what he would be saying. You have to understand this. When you hear this, when you analyze this, what you're hearing is a fear response, fight or flight or freeze. And he's in a flight response, but his brain is freezing. It's not working the way it should be working. And so he says things he shouldn't say, things that don't make any sense.
Defending freedom and democracy. There is a website started 1 March.
To alleviate any sort of misconfusion, I gave you the
alleviate any sort of misconfusion.
The links to my body of work that I actually took a part of.
Okay, so it doesn't.
I gave you links to my body of work that I actually took a part of. Again, his you can hear it in his voice. He's getting angry, fear, nervousness. She's asking me a hard question. I don't want to answer it. I know I'm caught. So I'm going to say things like, I'm going to want to say, I want to alleviate any confusion, but my brain tells me misinformation and confusion. So I'm going to blend those. Key sign right there. Then he says, my body of works that I took a part of. No, my body of works that I took part in. No, but I took a part of. Am I nitpicking? Absolutely. I'm nitpicking because this is what you have to listen for when you're trying to judge the truth and temerity of an individual. And Adam is caught. And he can't just talking point his way out of this.
It doesn't bother you that this stuff is out there, and that's not a trick question.
It really doesn't bother me.
And we're going to get the most Freudian slip you've ever heard in your life right here.
There's a lot of worse things out there than that.
No, it doesn't bother me at all. There's a lot of worse things out there than that. But he catches himself and he tries to clarify. But I'm telling you, listen to this question again.
I actually took a part of.
Okay, so it doesn't bother you that this stuff is out there, and that's not a trick question.
It really doesn't bother me at all. There's a lot of worse things out there than that.
There's a lot of worse things out there than that at this point. Interesting, Adam. There's a lot of worse things out there than that. But see, now his brain caught that, and this is what he sees. He says, I'm
running for U.S. Senate. There's a lot of worse lies out there than that. I worked with.
Now,
trick question. That's just
it really doesn't bother me at all. There's a lot of worse things out there than that at this point. I mean, I'm running for U.S. Senate. There's a lot of worse lies out there than that.
is out there, and that's not a trick question. That's just
it really doesn't bother me at all. There's a lot of worse things out there than that at this point. I mean, I'm running for U.S. Senate. There's a lot.
One more time.
doesn't bother you that this stuff is out there, and that's not a trick question. That's just
it really doesn't bother me at all. There's a lot of worse things out there than that at this point. I mean, I'm running for U.S. Senate. There's a lot of worse lies out there than that.
There's a lot of worse lies out there than that. Okay, so now Adam's admitting there's a lie out there, right? We've got Adam. We've got Adam admitting that there are lies out there. Whose lies, Adam? Are you implying that Natalie's lying? Because we know Natalie's not lying, because we just proved that Natalie has the receipts. We have all the receipts, Adam. We have them all. We have all the receipts. We have 100% of the receipts. We're not going to say anything here on my show. We aren't going to say something about this unless we have the receipts. And we have the receipts, Adam. So we just demonstrated we have the receipts. Natalie has produced the receipts. You did say to Alpha News that you started defending democracy and freedom. But now to Natalie, you're saying you were never even part of it. You looked at it, but you never took part. And then you said there are a lot worse things out there. Well, what I mean is there are a lot worse lies out there. Whose lies? Whose lies, Adam?
Entity I worked with. So no, I'm not concerned. I just want to provide you an opportunity to talk to me so you can hear it directly.
Hear this, and again, hear this voice. He's trying to end this call. He's trying to in military jargon, he's trying to exfil. He's trying to get out of there. He's taken hostile fire in his mind, and he doesn't have the support. He doesn't have the backup. This isn't a friendly environment, and he's trying to get out of here. And listen to Natalie, just calm and cool all the way through. Adam is pissed the F off.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
I would like to ask you one more question for my own clarification. Because when your name first came up as running for...
Notice she paused just long enough to give him an opportunity to say yes or no. Listen to this.
I appreciate it.
I would like to ask you one more question for my own clarification. Because when your name first came up as running...
He could have cut in. She gave him that was a long enough pause for him to go, I don't have time, I gotta go. He easily could have said it, because he's cut her off multiple times.
For Senate, I thought you weren't supporting more wars.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
As people come and they have some concerns because all they've heard is this negative about it, how are you going to demonstrate, not just denounce the label of neocon on yourself, but how are you going to demonstrate to people, look, I'm not this warmongering war hawk, which sounds funny coming from a guy from the 82nd Airborne to a SEAL. Like how are you going to move into that world, operate in that world, where people are going to assume that you must be a war hawk and a neocon because you're in the military and you want to blow things up?
Well, again, the other part of that, brother, is it's so funny when people paint me because I was an officer as a war hawk, but I was enlisted as much as I was an officer. I didn't retire as like a general or something. I was, U.S. Senate candidate for the GOP, trying to infill through 60,000 purple-haired radicals to get to.
This part's true, but I'm letting it play for the most part because I want you to hear his own words here.
To the thing that I showed you on the Defend the Guard rally, and without naming names or being a woe is me, that I took a lot of political headshots for being there for that. It's a Minnesota state issue. It's not a federal issue, but it's something I believe in, and that's kind of my so what is when. And I told you that when I believe in something, I don't just talk about it. I show up, and it's so how I prove to people who want to see, what my true value sets are. I'll show up.
Right. Well, and when I want to prove to people what my true value sets are, I show up. But does showing up mean anything anymore? Right? It can be virtue signaling. I know dozens and dozens and dozens, hundreds of people who showed up for the Let Them Play rallies, who were adamantly opposed during COVID lockdowns, were adamantly opposed to kids, their senior year kids' lives being ruined during the sporting season, who showed up for the Let Them Play rallies, but couldn't be bothered to show up for anything else. And as soon as the Let Them Play fight was won, they abandoned all the other anti-lockdown stuff. Is Adam one of them? Or was this Adam's attempt to appeal to a group of people who have had enough of the fucking wars, and he knows that he cannot win unless he sucks in those votes? He can't win. Adam cannot win without people who are anti-interventionists. And by the way, the phrase he's about to use is not his phrase. He borrowed that phrase from my friend Rebecca Whiting, who, yes, she is now running for Senate. She is now running for Senate. And she's only running for Senate because Adam has betrayed the cause. So vote for Rebecca Whiting for U.S. Senate, because she is an actual anti-interventionalist. Adam's going to use her phrase here. Adam's never used this phrase before Rebecca. And just so people are aware, one of the things, and I make no bones about this, one of the things I said to Adam, hey, the lunatic libertarian is here. All centralized systems have failed. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you very much for that. I very much appreciate it. Every single penny helps, and so I am grateful for your support, lunatic libertarian. Glad to have you on board. I'm glad to have all the viewers. If you haven't hit that like button yet, please do share it out. If you haven't become a channel member yet, you should strongly consider it, because the content's worth it, and I got some good stuff coming up for channel members and channel members only. So, and what I said to Adam in this interview, I said to him on the day of the rally: please do not abandon us, because if you do, you will regret it. And thank you for being here. We really, I appreciate it. I know the team appreciates it. Please stay with us. Don't abandon us. And his no thought. He said, I have advisors that told me not to. My comment here, no thought, was prescient. He clearly has no thought. Do this, and I'm still here because it means that much.
So why are you supporting this war?
The conflict in Iran, is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
What in a campaign? I mean, you make a good point. UN 46, look, all that showed up for fentanyl Floyd rallies. Yeah, sure. Couldn't be bothered to show up for actual things that mattered. And I'm sorry, George Floyd was a human being. He didn't deserve to die. But that whole thing was a fouled up mess from the get-go. But anyway, we're gonna skip back here.
In this war.
The conflict in Iran, is that what?
And right there, but why are you supporting this war? He goes, you mean the conflict in Iran? No, Adam, it's a goddamn war. You sellout. It's not a conflict in Iran. We are bombing a sovereign country, which, by the way, Adam, we are responsible for creating the mess in Iran that led to the Islamic Revolution in 1979. The United States created that mess along with Great Britain and ultimately geopolitical Zionist Israel. 1953, Operation Ajax, after the United States orchestrated the military coup that unseated Mossadegh and forced him out and reinstalled the Shah as the sole ruling authority in Iran, who then used the Mossad to train the Sabak. And then together, the Mossad and Savak rounded up thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of Iranians who opposed the Shah and made them disappear, and then raped them and murdered them and disappeared them to the point where the people finally had enough. The United States started the goddamn war with Iran in 1953. Adam, the United States did it. Why? Because that's what we've been doing since the end of World War II. We have been meddling in the affairs of sovereign foreign countries for decade upon decade upon decade. And it is because of 1953, Adam, that the CIA coined the phrase blowback, Adam. You shill. You low info hack. You warmongering piece of crap. I regret having given you the platform to spew your talking points. You're not so tough. You're not so smart. The United States started this war along with Great Britain in 1953, and this is just a continued war that we started. And so, no, it's not just a conflict in Iran.
We're talking about?
Yes.
What in a campaign sense, as I don't care. First of all, the Democrats didn't start the war in Vietnam. That was the French, and then the French got their asses handed to them. And then we stepped in and said we would rescue them, by the way. And we should have never been in Vietnam either. It doesn't matter who you vote for. You get John McCain. It's the Uniparty, UN 46. Republicans and Democrats are all in on it. They're all in on it together. Because most of them don't ever have to worry about sending their kids off to war. If Adam gets elected, he's going to vote for your kids to go to war, and he'll never have to worry about his kids going to war. He'll make sure his kids never go to war. As you run up against other Republicans who may be wanting to get the nomination and the endorsement, as you go into it, what are you going to do then to take your position, which is really kind of on almost an anti-interventionist? It's very important that you listen to this man here. He is running as a Republican. And what he says here, I love. What he says here, I love. But he doesn't abide by it. Stance. I don't know where you stand specifically.
That's how I would describe my foreign policy. And in those exact words, I'm a non-interventionalist.
Okay. Thank you. You made it easier. So
yeah, the conflict in Iran, it's an American first foreign policy.
As you enter into
every country has the right to defend itself.
The conflict in Iran. No, it's a war, Adam. It's a war we started in 1953. We started this war in 1953. It's not a conflict. It's a war. You don't get to change terminology. You bomb other countries and kill their people. You kill their schoolgirls. That's not a conflict. That's a war. That's a war. And boy, do we got something good coming out about Adam and his views on war. Started a war in 1953, and we're continuing that war that we started in 1953. Gee, I don't know. Let's, if you guys don't believe me, you know what? No, it's not worth it right now. We started a war in 1953 that we have continued to fight throughout time. Shot down an Iranian airliner, called it an accident. Never said we were sorry, really. But we're supposed to believe that. And look, the Iranian regime is atrocious. It's a terrible regime. I'm not arguing that. But we caused that. No, it's not collateral damage. I'm so sick of hearing that. I'm so sick of hearing about collateral damage. When terrorists flew planes into buildings in the United States, we didn't go, oh, well, that's just collateral damage. This is war. We said, no, we're going to go kill you. Innocent civilians dying in a war is not collateral damage. It's not justified. And we are intentionally targeting places in Iran right now where we know innocent civilians are going to be hit and killed. We do this constantly. We dropped bombs on non-military targets, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. We're the only country in the history of the world that ever dropped nukes. We're the only country that ever used nukes. But that's okay, collateral damage. Until it happens to you. Collateral damage until it happens to you.
From legitimate threats, but I'm not using American resources, specifically where I have big red lines is American blood, to project power.
It's very important. He is not okay with American blood being spilled to project power.
For anything that is not an American first objective.
And we have yet to see how bombing Iran and causing regime change there is an American first objective, which he's going to claim it is here in a minute. It is not America first to drive up crude oil prices. It's not America first to bomb a school in Iran. Not once, but twice. Not once, but twice. That is not America first. And he's not okay with the spilling of American soldiers' blood, American service members' blood, until it's politically expedient for him. You heard it, folks. He does not want American lives lost for other people's defense.
That's a very good point, TC. Specifically, America continuing to outsource other nations' national security is persona non grata for me. I am for the discontinuation of Americans being outsourced.
You have to listen to that again, because Adam has this track record or has a habit of using just the wrong metaphors, statements, commentary.
Nation's national security is persona non grata for me.
Outsourcing other nations' security is persona non grata. Like, Adam, you don't even do you even know what persona non grata means? Because that is not the appropriate use of persona non grata. And this was not a high stress, high pressure situation.
I am for the discontinuation of Americans being outsourced to provide security that other nations are outsourcing because they are not spending their own resources. They are not.
He is against the United States spending her resources because other countries are not willing to spend their resources. I don't know. You mean like attacking Iran for geopolitical Zionist Israel, which has said that if this, in Netanyahu's own words, he wants this country invaded. He wants this country invaded. He said that. If you don't believe me, go look out on the YouTubes and the internets, and you can find Netanyahu's statement saying that he is all for a ground war in Iran, but Israeli Defense Force troops will not be taking part in that. But he's also said that he will not agree to any terms that allows Iran to keep any of their nuclear materials. Oh, and by the way, I just want to add here, since I brought that up, Israel has nuclear bombs, and they have promised to use them. Look at their Samson plan or their Samson option. If they fear they're going to be overrun, they will start nuking friendly countries to cause a global thermonuclear war. And they prove that they're willing to do it because we now have evidence that on October 7th, they use their military on their own people to heighten the destruction, to drum up support. Their own reports have said this. Geopolitical Zionist Israel is the most evil country in the world because they get away with whatever they want to get away with.
Building their own defense assets. And then therefore they expect the gap to be fulfilled by Americans, our money, and really our blood. That's the big red line for me.
That's the big red line for me. I don't want our blood spilled. This is very important that you guys remember this. The big red line for Adam is he doesn't want American service members' blood spilled for other countries. I guess unless it's Israel, right? Because listen.
As somebody who lost Marine brothers who were blown up in my arms in Iraq to the Shiite militias that I fought there. I lost SEAL brothers in fighting the Shiite brigades in Syria. I lost SEAL brothers, close friends of mine who died fighting the proxies and Houthis that were sponsored by Iran in the Red Sea. We stopped 6 foreign wars. So
we stopped 6 foreign wars. No, what foreign wars did we stop? Oh, okay. So we can start 1 war to stop 6 wars. Which, by the way, Syria, the United States, and Israel started. The civil war in Syria, the United States and Israel orchestrated that war. We literally funded ISIS to overthrow Syria. We bombed Bashar al-Assad because we told the world he used nerve gas on his own people. Then the proof came out that it was the ISIS militants funded by the United States that used the nerve gas on Syrian people. The proof is out there, folks. So you can't have it both ways. Look at what we did with Libya. We destabilized Libya. Libya was a secular country. Gaddafi was not a radical Muslim. It was a secular country. And we destabilized it. And it is now one of the most violent, and also, by the way, the hub of human trafficking in the Middle East going into Europe. Slave markets are open in Syria or in Libya to this day because we destabilized it.
So this conflict has stopped 6 foreign wars. So yeah, I'm a no wars guy. And by the way, Iran killed over 1,000 of my servicemen. My brother.
Actually, 3 random words. Hamas was was built by Netanyahu. Netanyahu funnels money to Hamas. In his own words, I control the flame on Hamas. I can turn that flame up or turn that flame down at any time. They are easier for me to control. Don't believe me? Go look it up. So, go ahead, warmonger more. Dumbass.
Brothers and sisters.
You're almost as bad as all the Republicans and Democrats who are all for this shit that's going on over in Iran right now.
So you should
all the way. Go ahead.
So I would think that would make you.
Yeah, I don't like Hamas either. They're bad guys, but so is IDF. The IDF is evil. The IDF is as evil as Hamas. The IDF is as evil as Iran. And here we are. We're not fighting for anybody else but geopolitical Zionist Israel.
Against what's happening, more deaths.
Well, we've lost 11 service members, and every life.
11 service members we shouldn't have lost. If Israel wants to cause regime change in Iran, let Israel fight that war by themselves. I'm sick and tired of us spending billions upon billions of dollars to fight for Israel. Let Israel fight for itself, and if it can't fight for itself, then let it fall. Let Israel burn to the fucking ground. I don't care. And there are millions of Jews in the world who don't care about geopolitical Zionist Israel.
Is precious, and especially every one of my brothers and sisters. This is not Iraq. This is not a 20-year invade, hold land, and conquer. This is.
Well, this was supposed to be over in 2 weeks. It was supposed to be over in 2 weeks, Adam, and here we are. Every day, something new is coming up. The Strait of Hormuz was open before February 28th. Now it's closed, and we're embargoing the shutdown of the Strait of Hormuz. We're shutting down the shutdown. More winning.
Is a limited campaign with finite objectives that we're accomplishing to make sure that Iran no longer.
Glenn Sharp, you support Israel. I would have never figured. You support Israel. What a shock! I couldn't tell by your comments. You support Israel.
Has the ability to fund $4 billion a year to proxies that are killing not only American citizens, not only American service members, but
listen to it. He's getting angrier and angrier. He's about to get worse too.
30,000 of their own people. I mean, the reason why I'm truly no wars is because of the second, third order effect.
And by the way, keep commenting. When you comment, you push me into the algorithm more. So it's great. Thank you very much.
Effects of indisplaced people, casualties across the board. Like there's casualties on war. It's terrible, and it's bad for the environment.
I haven't blocked anybody, Bob Smith. What are you talking about? I haven't blocked a single person. I don't block people on my channel. You were saying that you believe you are risking support by even stating.
I do. Yeah, I believe that I am risking financial support. Absolutely, like in the tune of millions of dollars.
Fair.
Boy, Iran just murdered 30,000 of its own citizens. 30,000. That's insane in cold blood. So we stopped that as well.
Yeah, they're evil.
So this was truly a great thing for humanity. It was a great thing for America, foreign policy, America first. It's peace.
It is not a great thing for American foreign policy, and it is not America first to attack other countries. America first is bringing all of our troops back to the United States, closing our borders, putting our troops on our borders where they belong, putting our planes in the skies along our aerial boundaries and our ships along our nautical boundaries, and telling people, get the fuck out of here. Don't come looking for a fight, because we will give you the fight of your life. It is not America first to bomb other countries. Iran is never going to nuke the United States. Never. They're never going to nuke the U.S. But if we keep messing around, we're going to get blowback. By the way, the term that the CIA coined after they performed Operation Ajax in 1953, overthrowing the wildly popular democratically elected president or prime minister of the Iranian people in 1953, and replaced him with a dictator. That's the term blowback was coined by the CIA because of that event. So no, Adam, is not America first to drive up the oil prices so that the fuel prices in the United States continue to climb at a sustained level, maybe over a less steep trajectory than under Biden, but they have been at a sustained level longer than they were under Biden. This is costing the American people. And no, we shouldn't have to deal with this. If Israel wants Iran taken out, let Israel do it. And if Israel can't do it, then fuck Israel and fuck Iran. Let them kill each other. Stop bombing other countries. Bring all of our troops home. Close all of our foreign bases. All of them. And I guarantee you we'll all be better off.
Through strength, and Iran no longer has the ability to project power all around the world for evil.
Adam,
Radical Islam is a snake. I agree. But so is Zionism. Zionism is evil. Zionism is a Marxist ideology masquerading as an ethnic concern.
I'm sorry, but that sounded like such talking points, because as you're saying you're against all this,
well,
you're talking about why it is.
Well,
I want to
appreciate
know.
your thoughts. I mean, I've deployed more times than anybody serving in Congress or Senate. I've got
Listen
5 master's degrees and certificates.
All this.
Power.
This is where
Natalie
absolutely nails him here, and he absolutely loses it and hangs up on her. By the way, he hangs up on her. And what he does here at the end is not, she calls it out as talking points, and instead of addressing what she's saying, he goes into appeals to authority, ad hominem, logical fallacies, and credentialism. I've deployed more times than anybody else in Senate and Congress. I've got 5 master's degrees. I don't care how many degrees you have. Like, that's literally the most anti-MAGA statement I've ever heard in my life. The vast majority of people who make up MAGA are blue-collar, no college degree having individuals. And Adam is now using his college degrees to say that my views are superior to yours because of X, Y, and Z. And he has absolutely completely abandoned everything that he said to me in his interview with me a year prior.
for evil.
Adam, I'm sorry, but that sounded like such talking points because as you're
Okay.
saying you're against all this,
Listen to him.
Well,
you're talking about why it is.
Well,
I want to
appreciate your
know.
thoughts. I mean, I've deployed more times than anybody serving in Congress or Senate. I've got 5 master's degrees and certificates on issues. I'm sorry if you don't like my opinions, but I'm just being honest. But I appreciate your time. I gotta get back to work.
Anger
Have
in
a
his
great day.
voice.
Wow.
You can hear
But I
the
will
anger
also
in
say
his
though
voice.
that
You can hear it.
Got 5 masters.
You can hear the anger.
Saying you're against all this,
Well,
you're talking about why it is.
Well,
I'm sorry that you don't like my opinions. No, we don't like your opinions, Adam, because they're going to get Americans killed if you get into office. You're going to get more Americans killed. For what? Another lost war? What war has the United States won since the end of World War II? And by the way, the United States didn't even win World War II. It was Russia that brought that war to a close. And the only reason that the war ended in Japan was not just the nukes. By the way, once again, the only country to ever nuke innocent civilians, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The only country to ever nuke innocent civilians, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Japan was already moving to the negotiation table to surrender in the war, but we bombed them anyway because we had a toy we wanted to play with. Israel's got nukes that they stole from the United States in the 1960s. They stole them, espionage, spies came in, stole all the material that they had and all the data and the plans that they needed to build their nukes in the 1960s. Israel stole them from the U.S., our greatest ally. Oh, and by the way, in 1967, Israel intentionally targeted the USS Liberty, killing hundreds of American service members in an attempt to suck the United States into their war with their neighbors. Our greatest ally? Every single war we fought in the Middle East, we fought for them. Thousands upon thousands of American service members have died because Israel has said, you got to fight these people because their days, their weeks, their hours, they have weapons of mass destruction. Israel has not Jews, Zionist Israel, geopolitical Zionist Israel. And Donald Trump is owned by people like Miriam Adelson. And Adam has his nose so far up Donald Trump's derriere that he has to use his talking points.
I want
appreciate
to know.
your thoughts. I mean, I've deployed more times than anybody serving in Congress or Senate. I've got 5 master's degrees and certificates on issues. I'm sorry if you don't like my opinions, but I'm just being honest. But I appreciate your time. I got to get back to work. Have a great day.
Wow.
But I will also say though that no matter what I do, I will always be exceptionally transparent and have the conversations with you, the people that I work for, the constituents. So if I ever do something and you're like, hey man, like you took this money or you cast this vote, I will never shy away from explaining the why I did something. I mean, I'm trying to work for you. That's one of the pillars I'm running on actually is transparency in government. And that starts with me.
You see, Adam's a liar. We've demonstrated that Adam Schwarze is a liar. We've demonstrated that Adam Schwarze doesn't keep his word. Adam Schwarze lost his trident. The SEAL teams took his trident away, and Adam has tried to explain that away. Adam has tried to say, well, it was political. Adam Schwarze betrayed the people who he said he supported when he came to the Defend the Guard rally and said he was done with foreign wars and that he would never support another foreign war. Adam Schwarze's campaign has blocked people who ask hard questions. I can give you lists of people in Minnesota who supported Adam Schwarze and no longer do, because when they asked hard questions, instead of answering them, the campaign page just blocks people who ask hard questions. See, Adam's not a war hero. For one, I don't believe having been a veteran, having been in the 82nd Airborne Division, I don't believe in you're a hero for having gone to war. You're not a hero for having served in the military. You're not a hero for having gone to war and come back. The true heroes are the ones who go off to war and come home and demand that we start no more and that we send no more people off to die. So Adam Schwarze is not a hero, but he's worse than that. He came back from war and he's turned into a coward. He's going to say whatever he needs to say to get elected. So if he has to cozy up to Trump and suck up to the megatards, he will. And when the winds change and MAGA goes a different direction, he'll support that. Donald Trump is threatening to invade Cuba. As we speak, he's threatening that. There are naval forces building up off the coast of Cuba right now, and they're talking about going in and seizing Cuba. And MAGA has said this is the most America First policy ever. And Adam will support that. Because if he doesn't, he risks getting massacred. And I tell people this all the time. I don't really have any heroes in this life or in this world. The closest I get to a hero in this world would have been Thomas Massie, because at least he stood his ground. No, Adam Schwarze is not a hero. He's a coward. He's a sellout, and he breaks his promises. He blocks people who disagree with him. He will not interact with people who disagree with him. Well, working people. See, Adam's marrying into wealth. Adam's marrying one of the wealthiest, is marrying into one of the wealthiest families in Minnesota. So Adam doesn't have to worry about what the rest of working America worries about. Adam doesn't have to worry. He doesn't have to worry about paying for gas. Adam doesn't have to worry about paying for groceries. Adam doesn't have to worry about paying a mortgage or paying rent or, where his next meal is coming from. He doesn't have to worry that paycheck to paycheck, because he's marrying into one of the most wealthy families in the state of Minnesota. He's marrying into his comfort. So he doesn't care what the war in Iran is doing. And worse, the Democrats don't care either. His opponents don't care what the war in Iran is doing, because they're all in on it. The left and MAGA are all in on this whole mess. And it's those of us who aren't supporting this, are out here telling people, stop falling for the fight. Stop falling for the propaganda. Warning people, don't fall for it. People keep falling for it. Why? Because most of you believe that history started in 1979. Most of you believe that Iran started all of this on their own. That it was all Iran's doing in 1979. Well, it wasn't. The U.S. and Great Britain, and then geopolitical Zionist Israel in 1953, started this war with Iran. Up until 1953, well, actually, even shortly after 1953, Iran was the strongest ally the United States had in the Middle East. The CIA had their foreign offices headquartered in Tehran. Fact. Indisputable. But we couldn't stand the idea that Iran owned their own oil and other people would have to pay full and regular, civil prices for it. So we overthrew their democratically elected government and installed a tyrant. And now guys like Adam, who should be the most anti-war people there are for the things that he saw, and here you could hear it in this interview, I lost brothers to that war, to these wars. He said it in his own words, I'm tired of seeing American troops die. I'm tired of seeing American soldiers die to defend and fight wars for other countries. That's Adam's own words, but now he's okay with American troops dying for geopolitical Zionist Israel. and he calls that America first. Adam Schwarze is the worst candidate the Republicans have right now. And as bad as he is, he's not as, in some respects, as bad as he is, he's not as bad as the Democrats. The Democrats are even worse. But you don't vote for somebody because they're the lesser of two evils. Voting for evil is voting for evil. You don't vote for the lesser of two evils and get good. When you vote for the lesser of two evils, if you win, you still get evil. And Adam is evil. Because he cloaks himself in this veil of righteousness because of his military service, and he cloaks himself in this veil of decency. He cloaks himself in this, oh, I'm a war hero. He cloaks himself in this, I'm a persecutor. And by the way, Adam wasn't persecuted out of the military. There's more to his story than he tells people, by the way. Ask him how many months he sat in the brig and why he sat in the brig. It had nothing to do with what he says it was. He sat in the brig. He was stripped of his trident by the teams. The SEAL teams took his trident away. Do you know what it takes for the SEAL teams to take your trident away? Folks, they don't just go take your trident away because you're accused of something. They take your trident away because you've demonstrated that you cannot be trusted. That's why the SEALs take your trident away. The Republicans and the Democrats, MAGA in particular, for the Republican side, they're two wings on the same bird. And that bird is the bird that's leading us to the surveillance state, FISA 702. That bird is going to lead to the destruction of what we have left of our liberties in this country. And guys like Adam are going to go along with it. And most of you are going to, who are MAGA, are going to support him because he says he's MAGA. He says he's America first. And he's not Amy Klobuchar, and he's not whatever other person ends up getting the Democrat nomination. So he's got to be better, but he's not, because in this case, no matter who you vote for, you're going to get John McCain and you're going to get Lindsey Graham and you're going to get more geopolitical Zionist Israel AIPAC people supporting you, supporting those candidates down the road. And we're going to get more forever wars and more Americans are going to die. And it's just going to keep going and going and going because they all want to play the same goddamn game. And so many of you are going to support whoever you think has the right letter behind their name. And you're not going to pay any attention to what they actually say. You're just going to vote for them because of a letter. That's it. That's what you're going to do. You're going to vote for guys like Adam Schwarze. You're going to continue to vote for people like J.D. Vance. And you're going to support people like Pete Hegseth. And you're going to, or if you're on the left, you're going to support whoever they put up for president, or you're going to, somebody like Gavin Newsom or whoever. The left and the right, you're all so blind. You're just going to support these people, and they're going to keep doing the same things over and over and over and over and over freaking again until they've absolutely destroyed you. You do not understand what you're doing to yourselves. Because you've bought the propaganda. You've been sold this bill of goods, and you're going to find out in the end that what you're doing is you're voting for your own freaking demise. You're voting for your own deletion. But you think this person has the R behind their name or the D behind their name. They're got to be the right person for you because that is what you think most closely aligns with you. But I guarantee you, at the end of the day, you do not live your life the way Adam Schwarze lives his life, and you do not live your life based on how you vote. You live your life based on liberty and freedom and natural rights. And every time you do something, every single time that you do something, as it relates to politics, you sell yourself out by voting for somebody who absolutely will oppose that. And there has been no greater disappointment for me personally than the vote that I cast for Donald Trump in 2024. And now I regret having supported Adam Schwarze, because he's proven to me now, with hindsight, being able to look back at what he said and now seeing what he's doing now, he's proven to me that he's nothing more than a coward and a traitor to the cause. So if you want to be in Minnesota and support an Adam Schwarze or support some Adam Schwarze or wherever you are, wherever you live, go for it. But do not blame the rest of us who said, I've had enough of this fucking mess and I am not going to put up with it anymore. Fuck the Republicans. Fuck the Democrats. Fuck them all. Fight for your freedom. It is yours. Fight for your liberty. It belongs to you. And sic semper tyrannis.
We are go for liftoff in T-minus 30.
Stand by for further instructions, Minnesota Black Robe Regiment.
Secondary guidance systems engaged.
Minnesota Black Robe Regiment, it will be on my mark.
All systems are a go. All systems are a go.
Minnesota Black Robe Regiment, you are over the target. You are authorized to fire at